Sunday devotion today on Sunday, July 7th, 2024. We welcome all of you to join us in prayer and music if you have some that you want to bring. We are happy to pray with one another, read the writings, reflect, and start our week with beautiful meditation. With that being said, Andy, please let's begin the opening prayer.
Say God sufficeth, all things above, all things and nothing in the heavens or the earth, but God sufficeth. Verily, He is in Himself the knower, sustainer, the omnipotent. Say God sufficeth, all things above, all things and nothing in the heavens or the earth, but God sufficeth. Verily, He is in Himself the knower, sustainer, the omnipotent.
Hey, I just found the solution. Tell me if this is muffled or not.
I think so, yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect? All
Yes.
right. So there was a button on the machine for everyone on Zoom if you're ever using original sound for musicians. Despite the fact that you have settings, despite the fact that you select the setting, you still need to go on your main screen where it appears usually the sound setting on the top right of my screen at least. It shows original sound for musicians off. You need to turn that on so all the settings that you selected are also in use. So with that being said, I'll begin with something. All right, Alita, please go to mama. Please go to mama. Go to mama. All right.
Son of man, for everything there is a sign. The sign of love is fortitude under my and patience under my trials. O Son of Man, for everything there is a sign. trials, under my trials.
So we welcome everybody for this Sunday devotional. Once more, it's July 7th, 2024. We are here to pray with one another, to read the writings, and reflect. So with that being said, the item for reflection today, a lot has been going on, and in the USA, the United States of America, we just celebrated the 4th of July. And, well, the Independence Day that the people of the United States celebrated, it was a beautiful time. A lot of people got to reflect on the nation's founding. Likewise, every Friday we have a day that's called Independence as well. It is the day that in the Gregorian calendar is called Friday. Baha'is call it Independence. And what it is in Arabic, I welcome all of you to look online and find the name, as it is one of the 7 days of the week. Friday for Baha'is is called Independence. With that being said, there are some quotes on the subject of independence that I think would be prudent to go over today as we are thinking about independence in the spiritual context. There's a quote from Abdul Baha. This is quoted by Lady Bloomfield from The Chosen Highway, page 171. Abdul Baha said, "Those who are working alone are like ants, but when they are united, they will become as eagles. Those who work singly are as drops, but when united, they will become a vast river, carrying the cleansing water of life into the barren desert places of the world. Before the power of its rushing flood, neither misery nor sorrow, nor any grief will be able to stand. Be united. It is rather dangerous to be an isolated drop. It might be spilled or blown away." There is a prayer in the prayer book from the Bab that speaks to independence as well. I'm going to be sharing that prayer right now. O my God, my Lord and my Master, I have detached myself from my kindred and have sought through thee to become independent of all that dwell on earth, and ever ready to receive that which is praiseworthy in thy sight. Bestow on me such good as will make me independent of aught else but thee, and grant me an ampler share of thy boundless favors. Verily, thou art the Lord of grace abounding. Andy, it seems you have unmuted a few times. Would you like to share something?
Oh, I had only unmuted because all of a sudden everybody else was muted, and I wanted to make sure that I just wanted to make sure that the host hadn't deliberately muted everybody. But seeing as how this is the case, I'll be happy to do something. Of course, that involves grabbing my instrument.
O Son of Spirit, noble have I created thee. Yet thou hast abased thyself. Rise then unto that for which thou wast created. O son of spirit, noble have I created thee, yet thou hast abased thyself. Rise then unto that for which thou wast created. So again, we're meditating on the subject of independence today. As we had celebrated in the United States Independence Day on the 4th of July, we had just before the weekend started observed, as we do every week, the days of the week. We had the Day of Independence, which is known in the Gregorian calendar as Friday. The Badi calendar is a very beautiful calendar that Baha'is have, that the days start at sunset. The days that start at sunset, they end the following sunset. And from sunset to sunset, these days begin and end. Now, Friday, by that logic, started on Thursday evening and ended on Friday evening. That's the day called Independence. We have 7 separate days of the week that are in the Badi calendar. The Baha'i calendar is called the Badi calendar. These 7 days of the week, with these beautiful attributes of God, these names of God, are each a separate day of the week. And these 7 days, named after attributes of God, replace what we've been observing throughout history, typically names of kings, rulers of the past, people. We've changed the basis of our calendar to that of one independent of the powers that be on earth, and attached and based on that of the virtues, the attributes of God. With that being said, I'm going to offer another prayer from the Bab. Again, this is on the subject of independence as well. Lord, pitiful are we. Grant us thy favor. Poor, bestow upon us a share from the ocean of thy wealth. Needy, do thou satisfy us. Abased, give us thy glory. The fowls of the air and the beasts of the field receive their meat each day from thee, and all beings partake of thy care and loving kindness. Deprive not this feeble one of thy wondrous grace, and vouchsafe by thy might unto this helpless soul thy bounty. Give us our daily bread, and grant thine increase in the necessities of life, that we may be dependent on none other but thee. May commune wholly with thee, may walk in thy ways, and declare thy mysteries. Thou art the Almighty, and the loving, and the provider of all mankind. Everyone here is welcome to offer prayers. Welcome, obviously, to offer beautiful writings. Please, Olga, if you could unmute.
Thy name is my healing, oh my God, and remembrance of thee is my remedy. Nearness to thee is my hope, and love for thee is my companion. Thy mercy to me is my healing and my succor in both this world and the world to come. Thou verily art the all-bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise.
Praise be to thee, O Lord my God. I implore thee by thy name that hath caused to surge within every drop the oceans of thy loving kindness and mercy, and to shine within every atom the luminaries of thy bountiful blessings and favors. I implore thee to adorn every soul with the ornament of thy love, that none may remain on thine earth who have not turned towards thee, or have failed to detach himself from all except thyself. Thou hast verily, O my God, suffered him who is the manifestation of thine own self to be afflicted with all manners of adversity, in order that thy servants may ascend into the pinnacle of thy gracious favor, and attain unto that which thou hast through thy providence and tender mercies ordained for them in the tablets of thine irrevocable decree. The glory of thy might beareth me witness, were they every moment of their lives to offer up themselves as a sacrifice in thy path, they still have done but little in comparison with the manifold bestowals vouchsafed unto them by thee. Grant therefore, I beseech thee, that their hearts may be inclined towards thee, and that their faces may be turned in the direction of thy good pleasure. Powerful art thou to do what thou willest. No God is there but thee, the inaccessible, the all glorious, the ever forgiving. Deign then to accept, O my God, from thy servant the things which he hath shown forth in his love for thee. Fortify him then, that he may cling to thy most exalted word, and to unloose his tongue to celebrate thy praise, and cause him to be gathered unto such of thy people as are nigh unto thee. Thou art he within whose grasp is the empire of all things. There is no God but thee, the Almighty, the help in peril, the all glorious, the unconstrained. That's from Prayers and Meditations of Baha'u'llah.
So I don't know if Jeremiah you can do this. There's a quote that I found in Ocean from Dawn of a New Day. Of course, looking at the word independence in the Ocean 2.0 library, or really any search term you want to look for, you can find beautiful quotes and writings. This one is from Dawn of a New Day by Shoei Effendi. The severe laws and injunctions revealed by the Bab can be properly appreciated and understood only when interpreted in the light of his own statements regarding the nature, purpose, and character of his own dispensation. As these statements clearly reveal, the Babi dispensation was essentially in nature of a religious and indeed social revolution, and its duration had therefore to be short, but full of tragic events, of sweeping and drastic reforms. These drastic measures enforced by the Bab and his followers were taken with a view of undermining the very foundations of Shia orthodoxy, and thus paving the way for the coming of Baha'u'llah. To assert the independence of a new dispensation, and to prepare also the ground for the approaching revelation of Baha'u'llah, the Bab had therefore to reveal very severe laws, even though most of them were never enforced. But the mere fact that he revealed them was in itself a proof of the independent character of his dispensation, and was sufficient to create such widespread agitation and excite such opposition on the part of the clergy that led them to cause his eventual martyrdom. Imagine that, to cause his eventual martyrdom. So we've spoken of different aspects of independence. To be independent of aught else save God is one meditation on the simple concept of meditation. The independence of the revelation of the Bab and that of the Baha'i faith. Of course, the nation's independence when we consider the 4th of July. The day of independence, that is the same day others observe as Friday. There is a quote from the Kitab Aqdas now. This is from the Kitab Aqdas, the most holy book. O people of the world, follow not the promptings of the self, for it summoneth insistently to wickedness and lust. Follow rather him who is the possessor of all created things, who biddeth you to show forth piety and manifest the fear of God. He verily is independent of all his creatures. Take heed not to stir up mischief in the land after it had been set in order. Whoso acteth in this way is not of us, and we are quit of him. Such is the command which hath, through the power of truth, been made manifest from the heaven of revelation. From Days of Remembrance. This is Days of Remembrance is a book that is the life of Baha'u'llah in Baha'u'llah's words. It is a very important book for those of us that want to learn about the life of Baha'u'llah and reflect upon his life, what he had done for all of us, the sacrifices that he had made, the important decisions that he made, and what we as individuals can glean from his life. Each day we can meditate on one little thing, and that alone is enormous. God testifieth to the unity of his Godhood and to the singleness of his own being. On the throne of eternity, from the inaccessible heights of his station, his tongue proclaimeth that there is none other God but him. He himself, independently of all else, hath ever been a witness unto his own oneness, the revealer of his own nature, the glorifier of his own essence. He verily is the all-powerful, the almighty, the beauteous. I'm going to be posting text of a prayer, which I hope in the chat people can So I'm pasting it in 2 parts, and I apologize because there's a text limit on Zoom. So knowing this, if someone here can please look at the chat on Zoom and read the 2 halves of the prayer together.
Glory be to thee, O thou who art the Lord of all being and the ultimate aim of all creation. I testify with the tongue of both mine inner and outer being that thou hast revealed. Wait a minute. that thou hast revealed and maintained thyself, that thou hast sent down thy verses and demonstrated thy proofs, and that thou art independent of anyone besides thee, and sanctified above all else except thyself. I ask thee by the glory of thy cause and the power of thy word, graciously to assist them that have arisen to discharge what hath been enjoined upon them in thy book, and to perform that whereby the fragrance of thine acceptance may be shed abroad. Thou verily art powerful, the gracious, the forgiving, the bountiful.
Terry, if you could also read this from the writings of the Bab. This was addressed to Tahire.
Find it. O Corinthal Ain, we have verily dilated thine heart in this revelation, which stands truly unique from all created things, and have exalted thy name through the manifestations of the Bab, so that men may become aware of our transcendent power and recognize that God is immeasurably sanctified above the praise of all men. He is verily independent of the whole of creation. I guess that was it.
I just pasted something else in the chat. If someone could please read this from Abdul Baha before the person reads. This is from the Will and Testament of Abdul Baha, and it's page 34. This is from the Will and Testament of Abdul Baha. If we could please have a reader reading from the Zoom chat. I have the citation. Yes, Olga, please.
I'm not sure about the quality though, but I will try. O friends of Abdul Baha, the Lord, as a sign of his infinite bounties, hath graciously favored his servants by providing for a fixed money offering, hukuk, to be dutifully presented unto him, though he, the true one, and his servants have been at all times independent of all created things. And God verily is the all-possessing, exalted above the need of any gift from his creatures. This fixed money offering, however, causes the people to become firm and steadfast, and draweth divine increase upon them. It is to be offered through the guardian of the cause of God, and that it sorry, I can't.
It is to be offered through the guardian of the cause of God, that it may be expended for the diffusion of the fragrances of God and the exaltation of his word, for benevolent pursuits, and for the common weal. Thank you, Olga, very much. So this is another way independence is expressed in the writings. This idea of material independence that God has, and our acknowledgement of that independence of God. If we could have another reader. I'm unable to, Jeremiah, as I'm not a co-host, to ask people to unmute. So I'm going to be posting this. I just posted into the chat from Secret of Divine Civilization. This is from Abdul Baha, The Secret of Divine Civilization. You can also find this online on Ocean 2.0 Interfaith Library, oceanlibrary.com. In searching for the word independence, this quote came up. And it's a very interesting one because, as a matter of context, before modern day, people used to distinguish themselves by how they dressed. So if you dressed a certain way, you were considered a certain person who may have belonged to a certain class of people. So there used to be it's still, though it exists today in concept, there used to be a class of people known as the clergy class. And these people were distinguished by the hats that they wore. In a very simple way, the hat that they wore could be called a turban. And the different colored turbans they wore also distinguished so they could be understood who they come from. It could be their heritage, for example. So a green turban in Iran used to mean that you are descended from Muhammad, for example. With that being said, this quote in mind, it is hoped that all of us, while we're reading these quotes together, will investigate the context of these quotes as we are citing where they are from. If we could have a voluntary reading for
Yeah, I can
reading.
read. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. Each day they invent a new bomb or explosive, and then the governments must abandon their obsolete arms and begin producing the new, since the old weapons cannot hold
Jutta, if you don't
against
mind,
the new.
Jutta, let's first read what's on the Zoom chat since I've given some context.
Oh, I
And then-
thought that was 113. Sorry.
This quote here in the Zoom chat, I have a link. If you click on it,
Yeah, that's what I did. And it says The Secret of Divine Civilization 113.
and then there's the link and the quote above it. Do you see the
Yeah.
quote above it?
Underneath.
No, the quote,
I'm sorry,
the quote is above it.
I'm probably not on the same. I
So
was picking, you said 113, right?
I'll just read the quote just to avoid
Okay,
confusion.
go ahead.
Knowledge, purity, devotion, discipline, independence
Ah,
have nothing to do with outer appearance and dress. Can you see that quote, Jutta?
yes.
Yes, if you could please read it.
Knowledge, purity, devotion, discipline, independence have nothing to do with outer appearance and dress. Once in the course of my travels, I heard an eminent personage make the following excellent mark, the wit and charm of which remain in memory. Not every cleric's turban is a proof of continence and knowledge. Not every layman's head a sign of ignorance and immorality. How many a head has proudly raised the banner of knowledge? How many a turban hold down the law of God?
Miss Jutta, if you could please read the next quote that I pasted in.
Okay.
This is from Selections from the Writings of Abdul Baha.
And which one is that number? Or it starts with the third?
It says first in a human being's way of life.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's the last quote, just after what you read.
No.
First in a human being's way of life must be purity, then freshness, cleanliness, and independence of spirit. First must the stream bed be cleansed, then may the sweet river waters be led into it. Chaste eyes enjoy the beatific vision of the Lord, and know what this encounter meaneth. A pure sense inhaleth the fragrances that blow from the rose gardens of his grace. A burnished heart will mirror forth the comely face of truth. Once more, this is from Selections from the Writings of Abdul Baha. So we're getting to that point. We're going to be closing for the day. If we could have a volunteer to have a closing prayer. Prior to that, while you're getting ready, I'll have a piece on the piano played, and then we can close out for today. So we can begin the 11 a.m. session.
Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge and the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified.
We appreciate all of you for attending today and for being participants as well. Those of you who participated and shared prayers and read some quotes. We hope that this reflection on the subject of independence has been somewhat edifying and may begin another meditation as you embark on your prayers this week ahead. We hope you all have a beautiful Sunday, and for those of you joining us for the 11 a.m. Sunday session, the Baha'i Explorations session will be beginning in about 5 minutes. We welcome all of you who are here to join us for that next session on clearwaterbaha'is.org under activities and events. Thank you.